Nobody's gonna love me like you do. It's your voodoo, and I'm so amazed. Resurrect me from my grave. You love me, I'm your slave, but that's how you do. We cannot be in love. No boundaries, your love surrounding me. But I win it all because I got you. It's all about you, yeah. Be not ashamed, 'cause I love everything about you. I'm attuned to you. We cannot be in love. No boundaries, your love surrounding me. Needle in the haystack, you found me. Balanced on my chakras, I'm grounded, unlocked on my lockers. Astounded by what love can do when I'm loving you. No boundaries, your love surrounding me. 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 I'm just a magician, looking for some loving. Hoping you'll give me a chance. I wanna join your coven. We can do a ritual. The man right here, everything mystical. You mind if I lick you slow? Without you, I've been miserable. I guess I need some company. I need my women crush Wednesday humping me. Call your girlfriend, now they jumping me. Open his portals, guess it's up to me. Manifestation, have your way with me, goddess. I submit to your grace. Set your intentions. You can do it all while sitting on my face.
Passion was a sort of madness. He was a man possessed.
Never ran, I distract in the field. You don't wanna see me back in the field. Fuck around and start taxing for real. Stay raw, just for maximum feel. You don't really know what passion it is. Stating facts, I ain't asking for real. I can tell you ain't fight for a meal. I go deep in the dark for a thrill. I can feel my grandpa through the chills. You ain't even gotta ask, we working. Waiting on the last call, close curtain. I'ma set a mousetrap, who lurking? I just stay tapped in through the urges. Am I in the astral or earth is? Hard to tell cause it's two worlds merging. Never ran, ran, I just tracked in the field. You don't wanna see me back in the field. Fuck around and start taxing for real. Stay raw, that's for maximum feel. You don't really know what passion it is. Stating facts, I ain't asking for real. I can tell you ain't fight for a meal.
I can tell you're not masking for real. More like massing gills. I was in a max like steel. Felt real pain like Max. Now my shit clean, Ajax. Thought I was a CNA, where I was passing pills. Thought I had a CPA, 10K in a day. But nigga, I'm taxing still. I win the game, then take the fame, yeah. This that Paxton feel. Put up the numbers, no contract we under. Nigga, went from meek to the mills. I got a money tree. I got a honeybee. Broke hoes don't get none of me. Held me back, then they gon' front on me. But we here now, and it's kinda weird how,
Never ran, I just tracked in the field. You don't wanna see me back in the field. Fuck around and start taxing for real. Stay raw, that's for maximum feel. You don't really know what passion it is. Stating facts, I ain't asking for real. I can tell you ain't fight for a meal. Let her know, let her know. I can tell you ain't fight for a meal. I ain't asking for real.
Your favorite astrologer's favorite astrologer. Your favorite mystic's favorite mystic. You are traveling with the Hood Mystic. You are now tapped in with the Hood Mystic. Time to tap in now.
I'm living my life like it's golden, 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 golden, living my life like it's 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 golden, golden.
The gym. I'm going to take a nap. So now you're sacrificing your loved ones because you're not spending time with them. And when I wake up, I'm probably going to train again. And then I'm going to have dinner. And then I'm going to bed. And I'm going to do that every single day for a long period of time. That's sacrificing and discipline. You know, and for me, I was 18 when I came into the league. I got my best friends from high school that's now in college. And they're calling me, telling me, you got to come down to these parties. You're not going to college. You're never going to be in college. And I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. I look back on it now, I wish I would have done a few of them. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, I wish I did. When it comes to discipline, you have to
peace to the tribe, peace to the collective, to the Hood Mystic. Back with another video, here to talk this good astrology. That first video that I showed was LeBron James talking about sacrifice. And I want to talk about sacrifice before we get into this larger conversation. And when you think about sacrifice, what is it, right? Sacrifice, the etymology of sacrifice is simply the offering of something, especially a life, to a deity as an act of appropriation or homage. So maybe we need to use a different type of word when we are saying that we need to be disciplined, right? Or we need to be focused. Because discipline and focus is not sacrifice. So when people say that they are sacrificing, that's in a religious act, meaning that the NBA was the deity. The NBA was the energy that LeBron was sacrificing to. But what is the NBA? That's a deeper question. Bringing it back to you and me, we're never going to play in the NBA, but we can still sacrifice. But before we just focus on our jobs, the way that we make money, and like really fixate and focus on, I gotta make this bread, I gotta make this money, I gotta do this thing. Why don't we just simply offer our lives to a specific deity, being our soul, like being the thing that has created our lives for us? Like, do you have a spiritual foundation to the overall reality that you live in, or is your back up against the wall? Right? Is your back up against the wall to where you don't know if you can make it from one day to another day? You don't know where your next meal is coming from. You don't know how you're going to make money. Well, if you just simply sacrifice to your soul, those questions would be answered for you. However, where does the word sacrifice come from? The word sacrifice comes from the word sacred. Sacred is a whole nother word that we have to understand. You, as a person that's living within existence, is sacred. But if you're back up against the wall, you don't know where your next meal is coming from, that's not no sacred shit. If you fucking somebody because it feel good, because they look good, that's not sacred. What is sacred is your time and your energy and your opportunity to simply exist. This is what has been hollowed out for you. When you think of hollow, that's like digging a hole. Life, like if you look at life as like a wall, God knocked that wall down for you to live. But you don't look at it like that. Life has hollowed its way out for you. It's an empty seat on the airplane right now going to Tahiti. That's for you. But if you're not understanding that your time and energy is sacred, it is the crux of sacredness. Divinity or divine things, religious ceremony. So once again, when LeBron James said he got to sacrifice, what is the divine thing or the religious ceremony? Practicing jump shots in the gym, training, taking naps. Is that a religious ceremony, or are we talking about something above and beyond duality, above and beyond material things? So when we discuss and get into this lunar eclipse energy, I want you to keep this in mind. Another thing that I want you to keep in mind is that at White Rabbit Psychedelics, we are having a 25% off sale. I'm sorry, no, we're not. We got golden teachers in. We got a real nice batch, and this is for a limited time only. So when the golden teachers are gone, they're gone. But we're giving them away. Basically, the price is on the screen. Just visit the site, visit my link tree, and tap in. The golden teachers is really hitting on something. And this weekend, we're doing a promo highlighting golden teachers. Well, why am I highlighting golden teachers? Because golden teachers, if you never did any type of psychedelic, golden teachers are the entryway. They're like very mild. They're not known for anything hallucinogenic. They're not known for anything off the wall, crazy. It's just very introductory. My first time going into golden teachers, I got brought into the realms of Ganesha. Ganesha led me down a whole rabbit hole. It was very safe. I didn't feel different, felt regular, you know what I'm saying? But tap into the Golden Teachers White Rabbit site, no promo code needed. Just go buy it, end all be all. But once again, once it's over, the sale is going to be over. I just wanted to let people know about that because a lot of times people is always asking about Golden Teachers this, Golden Teachers that. And actually, a lot of my colleges have a problem with even making Golden Teachers because they feel like it's beneath them. However, I don't feel like that, but that's just word on the streets. You know, in this day and age, people going for the bigger and better thing. So yeah, today we're going to be talking about the lunar eclipse that is going to be taking place in sidereal Virgo. The sun is in sidereal Pisces. It's snow on the ground, so I don't know what people are talking about when they are referencing spring. Spring happens when the sun transits into Aries, which isn't going to be into like later into April, later into May. When you are following patriarchal false systems that are giving you false information, the first thing they're going to do is fuck with your time, right? The second thing they're going to do is fuck with your astrology. So now everybody is talking about Aries season. But if you got the Star Walk app or you visit any astronomical site and observation, you will see that the sun is in Pisces. And this is very important because if I told you we had a meeting at 5 o'clock and I showed up at 3 and it was a meeting that was going to change your life, and I gave you the wrong time and I said, well, I was doing tropical time. And you said, well, what is tropical time? It's a time system that I made up 2,000 years ago. It never do daylight savings time. It never processes leap years. You would say, man, this system is inaccurate with the actual accurate time system that we can all observe. So this isn't no weird, fantastical, magical stuff that I'm about to be talking about when I say the sun is in Pisces and the moon in Virgo, but the person that you love, the person that you like is telling you the sun is in Aries, the moon is in Libra, or wherever they say the moon is at. They're not observing the astronomics and coming up with a viable conclusion in reference to what is actually happening. Okay? And I just want to throw that out there because people is hitting y'all with nothing but fanfare. Ever since I can mute it. If you ever since I would say November, people have been hyping up the solar eclipse that's taking place on April 8th, 2024. But we're at the Hood Mystic channel following astronomical observances every single day, every single moon phase. Tap into the Substack where this article is. It's a paid article. We get into the nitty gritty of this lunar eclipse energy, but not in a way where I'm just talking to hear myself. I'm trying to give you real observable information. And the reason that I am the way that I am, is because I want to help the individual. I started this YouTube channel in 2016. I didn't start this YouTube channel to monetize. In real life, I try to monetize myself, like in real life. So if I'm gonna get on the internet, it's not to make money. Getting on the internet to make money is kind of corny. It's cool, but if that's all you want to do, you have a hard time. If I can have a relationship or if I can impart wisdom, and then on the back end, like you want to tap in. But if you don't, I'm gonna still kick this astrology game. whether you buy anything from Columbian Exchange, White Rabbit Psychedelics, whether you give a super chat, donate, I'm going to still give you the information raw, uncut, not behind a paywall, not behind the app, because the information is the most important thing for you, the individual. If my primary goal when I got on this internet was to make money, then that's going to dilute my information. Hope y'all can understand that, because it's easy to lie to you. It's a possession, okay? And I need y'all to understand, a person can be possessed by money. What's the problem with being possessed by money? It is not divine. It is not divine. Why do you say money is not divine? Because there's a building called the Federal Reserve that prints that shit all day, every day. To which all the money in the world don't matter if you can't actually learn how to manifest and attract the money in your walking existence. That's what I want for you. The first step, though, is identifying what is a divine thing. And when we're having an intellectual conversation, we should be able to have a concrete definition of what a divine thing is, as opposed to having an opinion. So people's opinion is that the sun is in Aries. The facts are that the sun is in Pisces. That is the observable reality. But if it's a million people online that's going to tell you that this lunar eclipse is in the sun in Aries, my heart hurts for the people. Everybody is lying to you because everybody is possessed by a demon called money. I have thousands of videos on YouTube. All of them are informative. You don't have to buy anything to observe my videos. I have thousands of podcast episodes. All of them are informative. You don't have to buy anything. I'm only going to exchange information. And the type of information that I have for you is for you to tap into the opposite reality, the spiritual reality. Nobody is going to tell you this, because if you understand that the people that created this computer, the people that created this application, the people that created everything that we're utilizing right now are possessed by the spirit of money, commerce. You wouldn't even be able to buy it. You have to buy this computer. You have to buy your phone. You have to pay your phone bill. That the root cause of you having your phone is because a nigga wanted to make money. That is a result of possession. But possession has a small sacrifice, to which we could live without the phones and the technology, believe it or not. Therefore, the phone, the technology, and the people that's in it, you would say very few of them would be of the soul, that actually care about you and that's actually going to help you. I'm going to go through this whole article, and it will serve you to take notes and to enter and understand the things that I'm saying and tap into your spirit. Anything outside of that is hogwash, poppycock. If you're not tapping into your spirit, it doesn't matter, okay? Because commerce is possessing you. And we're going to start this off with one of my past life avatars, Carl Jung. But there is no energy. There is no energy unless there is a tension of opposites. That means that until you recognize your soul, you are not an energetic being. You are an automaton. What you are looking for is within you. Can I get some ones in the chat if y'all with me, if y'all following me thus far? We about to start the informational process, but I want to know how many people are with me in the chat. Can we get some ones in the chat? Let's boost this engagement a little bit. Like the video a little bit, you feel me? just deal with me a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Just tap a little one in the chat. Let me know, you breathing, that type of shit. It don't hurt you to hit the like button. It don't hurt you to put a one in the chat. Let YouTube, we got some engagement. We all just not sitting here like automatons. We with it. We understand. Okay? But there is no energy. There is no energy unless there is a tension of opposites. So this would explain your mama, your daddy, your brother, your sister, everybody that's not conscious. What they're gonna do? They're gonna go to work. They're gonna get fly. They're gonna have a nice house. They're gonna drive their car. But when you start talking about chakras, they get mad. When you start talking about spiritual development and the importance of spiritual development, hey ma, I want to go to a botanica. Hey ma, you wanna go burn some herbs? And I need y'all to understand there is no energy unless there is a tension of opposites. Therefore, it's the individual's responsibility to tap into their spiritual or soul or invisible self, doppelganger self, double self. That is the true union of opposites. Thus, when we have a lunar eclipse, the sun will be opposed to the moon. Usually, the sun is opposed to the moon at up. So when we see the sun opposed to the moon, you'll see the moon. On a lunar eclipse, the sun and the moon are down. They're like at eye level, and then the earth comes in between it. So the sun shines through the earth and casts a reflection upon the moon. This is literally a block of transmission that it blocks the sun out, and we get a totality of moon rays, and this is subconscious energy. The issue with a lunar eclipse is that we never care about the subconscious mind. The average regular human being is only concerned with how they are living, how much money they got, how much money they can give away, how many people they taking care of, who they're getting taken care of by, security. The reason that people need to be so secure is because they have no spiritual foundation. Thus, they base their whole lives on the people that's around them and the things that they're about to do. So the apex for a nigga is taking their friends on a vacation. Past that, a nigga can't even think of anything to do beyond that. After you done made all the money, now we about to go, I'm gonna pay for everybody to go on a vacation. That's the apex for a nigga. Thus, we'll never really get it if we're continually to the material reality in all of its plethora of shit to do. How many crystals can you niggas get? 1 million. If crystals is your shit, well, now you got your motherfucking rocks off. You traveling. Oh, I'm at the crystal thing in North Virginia. I'm buying exotic crystals. Your soul don't give a fuck about that. Your ego does. Oh, I'm at such and such, doing such and such with who and who. Your soul don't give a fuck about that. Your ego do. Thus, we never really kickstart the spiritual journey for real. You have glimpses, but to really pour in to the opposite, meaning that you will sit and burn herbs just to feed your soul, not to fumigate your house, not to cleanse the house of spirits, just you like, damn, I need to pour into my soul. I'm gonna burn incense and burn herbs and sit in front of my altar, right? I'm not gonna be concerned with my living situation. I'm not gonna be concerned with what I got going on. I'm gonna just offer to a divine thing. my spirit, my soul is the divine thing. If I want to start a car, I use the positive and negative charges to start the vehicle. Thus, when you want your spiritual journey to start and you tapping in and tuning in to a nigga, you sitting in the car. You waiting for your spiritual journey to start. Y'all been having coaching calls, goddess calls, readings with the same motherfuckers, but if they're not in tuning or or telling you to tap into your intuition, to do altar work, to start it for yourself, to read the tea leaves, then they got you in the spirit of possession. The spirit of possession is 99.9% of people. And the problem with spirit of possession, there's no energy behind it. And if there's no energy behind it, there is no life. So it's a difference between fate and a difference between destiny. Fate is uncontrollable. Destiny is a destination. If I want to go anywhere in my car, I can put any destination in my GPS and my GPS will lead me there. Thus, when I work with my soul, that is activating my destiny. That is activating my energy. But at the end of the day, when I'm dealing with niggas, they only want to be liked. They only want to be loved. They only want to be respected. They only want to have money. They only want to have a relationship. They only want to get over their pain. They only want to feel sorry for themselves. They never want to tap into the arcane mysteries. They only want to do subjective shit. Oh, we need to fast. Oh, we need to do this. Oh, we need to do that. No, the reality is that you don't need to do a damn thing but feed your soul, feed your spirit. You're not doing that. You're doing everything else. God put a whole system of herbs, plants, and minerals to keep your serotonin balanced, keep your hormones balanced, keep your understanding balanced, keep your sexual health balanced, keep your attraction balanced. You lonely, right? You don't got nobody, but you haven't been drinking roses. This, Rumi says, what you seek is seeking you. When you drink rose tea, your girl is drinking rose tea at the same time. When a woman drinks rose tea, her man is drinking rose tea at the same time. They just don't know it. When y'all finally link, you would tell a man, I've been drinking rose tea till I find you. He gonna tell you, I've been drinking rose tea too. Roses are a natural attractor of your soulmate. You can then infuse mugwort. You can then infuse wormwood. Roses, mugwort, wormwood on a daily basis is going to clear your digestive system. It's going to have your solar plexus activated to whereas, excuse me, you're going to be able to be on your destination. Your soul don't want you to be lonely. Your soul don't want you to be broke. But you're not even allowing your soul to work for you because it's only you that's working at that job. It's only you that's stressing out on where you going to live. It's only you that's stressing out that you ain't got nobody. It's only you that's stressing out that shit ain't happening the way that you want to happen. That's only you. A motherfucker will sit and say, oh, I haven't been pregnant. I'm trying to get pregnant. But you was only supposed to get pregnant a year from now. Source had that already created for you. A year from now, you're going to have a baby. A motherfucker going to stress the fuck out every fucking time they get a period. They're going to be mad. Every time. But it'd be like, well, a year from now, it's going to happen for you. Motherfuckers be stressed out every single day about, I'm not going to have no money. But if you keep building your business, Source said, you got fucking entertainers liking your shit. You got viral people liking your shit. One day, a motherfucker's going to retweet your shit and your life is going to change. But you need to keep putting out content. You don't even need to worry about it. Source said, oh, a year from now, such and such going to retweet it. His life going to change. All he have to do is be consistent. All he got to do is pour into himself. All she got to do is burn herbs every night. every night you gotta burn herbs. Every day you gotta burn herbs. If you do not burn herbs, how are you serving your soul? You're not serving your soul. You're not even aware of it because it's negative and it's invisible. Thus, with niggas, if they don't see it, it don't matter. Nigga, I was in jail and niggas forgot I existed. So I know a nigga don't give a fuck about a spirit. I was actually dapping up niggas every day. You go to jail, nigga ain't dapping you up. Nigga just go about their regular routine. So if you go to prison right now, nobody gonna write you there. Therefore, the only thing, when you go to jail right now, who gonna be there for you? And I ain't talking about niggas actually thinking, well, my mama be there. No, probably not, nigga. Your mama is not gonna write you in jail. Get that out your mind. The only thing that your black ass gonna have when you go to jail is your soul. And trust me, getting in contact with your soul, whether you're in prison or on the streets, is most necessary, is a priority. Because when we deal with lunar eclipse energy and these subconscious rays come down, you ain't gonna know what hit you. You ain't doing no clarity work. You ain't doing no spiritual work. So everything is, I'm thinking I know what I need to do. And then the shit come crashing down and you like, damn, what's wrong with me? You're not understanding this principle. There is no energy unless there is a tension of opposites. Hence, it is necessary. What do necessary mean? Because niggas say necessary. Niggas say literally, and they really mean figuratively, and I'm tired of it. Necessary means absolutely needed. Can we put a 1 in the chat if y'all can understand that necessary means absolutely needed before we go any further? I just want to know that y'all with me and y'all rocking with me so far. We talking about a lunar eclipse. We talking about the sun being opposed to the moon. If we don't understand and understand opposition, then we are not going to understand shit when it comes to the spirituality. Niggas will take the full moon as a time to do a ritual just because they don't even know what the fuck is going on. You don't know what the fuck is going on, so you're going to do a ritual during the new moon. You're going to be also lunar eclipse. Let's do a ritual for what? You seen another nigga do a ritual? That's possession. You got to use your common sense. If whatever possession you are, if you in the sun or if you in the moon and something is opposed to you, that means that it's opposite of you. Like it's opposite of you. So you can't tangibly grasp it. All you can do is observe it. Like, damn, that nigga is over there. The full moon is for observation, recollection. Look at where I'm at thus far and where am I going in the future. Because that same shit that was over there is going to come back around. And when it come back around, now we can begin to work with it. We can do a ritual because our melatonin, our melanin, our spirit is in our midst. The moon actually is a circadian rhythm guidance for most of the creatures and beings and humans and spirits in the whole world. We all be asleep at night. Ain't that crazy? We all don't never do shit at the same time except sleep. Ain't that crazy? That's a rhythm. That's a power. That's a understanding that there is something larger at play than what I want, than what I'm trying to manifest or what I think. In order to tune in and tap into what's larger, the gateway is the night. The gateway is the moon. The gateway is your ritual. The gateway is your offering. Because even in this mist of darkness, you can begin to perceive the divinity within yourself. You would have a reflective moment. You would start making sense of shit. The thoughts will come together. You'll start connecting dots. You will have two distinct experiences during the day At night, you will then see how those experiences related. Thus, if you're not having a nighttime modality, like are you sleeping, listening to audiobooks? Are you studying? Are you programming your subconscious mind at night? Like, you know what I program my mind? I've done this for like I've done this for years. I know that I'm gonna wake up to money. I know that somebody gonna buy something when I'm asleep. Every time I wake up, I might check my phone. Oops, somebody bought something. Because I've already programmed in my mind to just like I'm just like I wonder who. I got it into my mind like I'm gonna just like manifest that night. And I'm gonna tell you one thing for sure, two things for certain, that shit work. So hence it is necessary. It is absolutely needed to discover the opposite attitude of the conscious mind. So a motherfucker will come and tell you what they want, what they need, what they expect, what they've been thinking about, but that is not the opposite attitude of the conscious mind. One's in the chat if you can understand and overstand that. Cause a nigga like me is gonna really trigger a motherfucker that know what they talking about. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker that know what they talking about, you got a different opinion of me, they're gonna be like, damn, I don't like this nigga. Something about him, bro. I don't like this nigga. The spirit of possession, I love everybody. I'm at that spirit of possession. It's an ancient war. It's an ancient war. It's those that understand divine things, which are invisible in nature, and those that don't understand divine things and think that the material is important. And they gas you up to want material things, only to help them get more material things. I'm here talking about the intelligences of the universe. So, let's get into eclipses. Now, as I stated earlier, the moon and the earth and the sun are going to be neck and neck, eye to eye. And the sun shining through the earth is going to create what is called a quote unquote blood moon. This represents a changing of energy. If you have been struggling, if you have been going through a tough time over this past year, because spiritual people do struggle from time to time, but it's usually a transformation. It's like if I'm taking this cup, right, and I'm going to recycle it, it's going to be a point in time where I break this cup down and tear it to shreds and break it completely down. And then I bring it through the recycle maker, and now it's a cardboard box. And now it's good again. It's like, oh shit. That point in time where I was breaking it down and transforming it from a cup to a cardboard box, that has been this previous year. A breakdown is required for a breakthrough. So if you find yourself in vicarious predicaments, you can utilize this eclipse energy to transform your life. And the power is within you and what you begin to do with your energy. So a person that is very spiritual in this next month, daily observation, daily offerings, daily rituals. Why? Because it's eclipse season. Burning herbs, taking care of your body, eating right, fasting, doing all of the things that require you to let go of the physical world, but not doing it to, like, you know, We gonna do a group thing. I'm gonna have a 30-day challenge. No, you gotta understand the opposite energies, the spiritual energies as a human being. When you reflect on human history, you're reflecting on humans' relationship to God. The deepest histories is religious histories, spiritual histories. Why isn't the deepest thing money? Why is money a recent revelation for humans? Because it's not of divine. Everything that you need was here at the beginning. The sustenance, the development, the molecules, the cellular makeup of a human being, the hydration. These are the necessary, most needed things. Technology, architecture, bling bling, ling ling. These are all recent inventions that make life enjoyable depending on the user. The reality is that there is a way to live this life that isn't complicated. There is a way to live this life that is very simple, and it's called religious observance. It's called understanding the spiritual nature within yourself. This is the hardest thing to do because most niggas find their spirit in niggas like me, projecting their energy onto me and people like me because this is interesting to me. But I'm not your fucking spiritual leader because I understand eclipses, or I understand astrology, or I understand spiritual things. It doesn't make me better than you. It's not a competition. It is understanding, which leads to overstanding that begets understanding. So you live in a world that you understand. You understand your purpose, you understand your path, and this is what you do. There is no complication to this. Are you clear? If you're not clear, then you begin to do the spiritual work to create the clarity. So the lunar eclipse, which takes place March 25th, is going to predate or precede the lunar eclipse that takes place on April 8th. So on this channel, on the Substack, we're going to start paying attention to the upcoming new moon on a daily basis. Since everybody is talking about it, I just want to see what the big deal is. But I'm not going to deal with the solar eclipse before I deal with the lunar eclipse. That doesn't even make sense. So here it goes. The average person will, you like, I want to spell for money, and you'll do that money spell, and it'll be weird. It won't work, or it will work, but it's not what you think it's going to be. Like you do a money spell, and then they say, all right, here goes 10 grand. We want you to do this porn. You like, fuck. Now you're in a predicament. But the reality is, if you're going to do any spell, make sure you banish first. One's in the chat if you can understand that, if you understand that. Because if you will banish, you're going to clean the energy. That's like if I'm going to say I want to make a meal, but I'm not going to clean the kitchen first. I'm not going to clean my area first. And I'm going to just clean, I'm going to cook on top of dirty dishes. You literally can't do that. You got to clean the pot first before you start to cook a new meal. The same way as you doing a spell, you got to banish first before you do any type of work. So if you don't banish, if nobody going to tell you this, they're going to tell you go crazy with the spell work. And at the end of the day, you're going to be looking stupid. You either going to be feeling like it didn't work. This is the same way as the food didn't taste right because you didn't even wash the fucking pot. You didn't even wash, like you ate spaghetti and then you cook something else and then you just put the hamburger in the same bowl that the goddamn spaghetti was in. It's going to taste funny. It's going to taste weird. Your spell is going to be weird. You will be much more adept at spell work and ritual work if you open and close the area. But we talking about spell work. We talking about rituals. We're talking about all this particular stuff is because we're in eclipse season. One in the chat, if you can understand and understand that. We are in eclipse season. You got to get this shit. You got to understand eclipse season is a matter of timing and it's a matter of understanding. I didn't have no motion on my YouTube channel in 2016. I posted videos every day, all day in 2016, and I had literally no motion. I would go to mounds all the time. I was living in Ohio. I was driving. I would be going to mounds. I didn't even think motherfuckers knew these mounds was here until the fucking solar eclipse. You'd have thought it was a fucking club. It was hundreds of people at the mound, and I didn't even know niggas even knew that the mound even existed, bro. I said, I've been coming to these mounds, and then it was a solar eclipse in 2017. We was at Shrum Mound. It was hundreds of people there. You just had grills, music. I'm like, what the fuck? I thought I was on some exclusive shit. I'm gonna go to the mound during the eclipse. Ain't nobody gonna know what's going down. Lo and behold, nigga, that's what the indigenous people do. The eclipses and the moon cycles is like organized and referenced. They'll have like a little hole you can see through, and every time it's like a new or full moon, you can look through the hole and you will see the fucking moon perfectly. During like the winter or summer solstice, the serpent mound, each fucking hump is aligned with each fucking winter solstice and summer solstice and spring equinox. I'm saying that I'm a real spiritual motherfucker. That's some ill ass shit. I'm going to the fucking mounds not knowing what the fuck is going down. And then I do some research and I'm like, oh, these niggas was astrologers with the shit. I didn't make the connection. All of this to say, eclipses are a powerful time. But if you were in your conscious mind, you're trying to get a house, you're trying to get a job, you're trying to survive, you don't give a fuck about the eclipses. It's irony though, because the things that you want to manifest for your life, you can easily manifest it if you knew how, if you knew when. How? Ritual, spell work, burning herbs, incense, candles. Understanding the opposite force field that controls your life. Clearing your mind, being able to receive information from the divine. Ones in the chat, if y'all can understand or understand what the fuck I'm saying, because I don't want to waste my breath today. I don't want to just say some shit and niggas be like, I don't know what the fuck you talking about, hood. Starting with Monday, going into April 8th, and post that is eclipse season. And they're gonna scare you. They're gonna be doing rituals. Niggas is gonna be dying, but they ain't gonna be really dying. Niggas is gonna be CIA agents, is gonna be finishing their assignment. Anytime a CIA agent is done with their assignment, they gonna say that nigga got killed or he died. Meanwhile, that nigga's back in goddamn Costa Rica where he live at with his family and shit. And y'all like, damn, this nigga died too soon. Not even a real entity, just a fake. Like this whole shit, Central Intelligence Agency, is all ran by government agents. And the number one thing that a government agent is doing is trying to confuse you, trying to mind control you, trying to get you to focus on anything outside of yourself. So the reality is you gotta do the opposite. Focus on yourself during this time. So as I stated earlier, the sun is going to be in Pisces and the moon is going to be in Virgo, okay? That's observable reality. If somebody says that the sun is in Aries and the moon is in Libra, that's a mere opinion. Now, opinions don't matter when we're having intellectual conversation. If you went to the doctor and you said, I have an opinion that I feel great, and he said, well, we did an x-ray and it says that you have cancer, you would have to trust that intelligent observation over your personal opinion. You can't never say my opinion towards a certain thing is more important than the actual facts of a situation, an observable reality. People are really suffering from cognitive dissonance when it comes to this spiritual shit. Niggas wanted to learn so much when they came into consciousness, ones in the chat. But at a certain point, niggas stopped learning, ones in the chat. At a certain point, niggas stopped studying like they used to study, because once they got free from Jesus, they just got another Jesus called fill in the blank conscious nigga, also known as government agent. Remember when you first came into consciousness and you were studying so much and you had notebooks and you had your notes all organized, color coded, you had file cabinets, folders. You were so in love with the information, but you understand what you know, it wasn't what you wanted it to be. It wasn't what, I mean, I don't know. You just started becoming arrogant. So when it comes to people, like I will continue, like I was a Western astrologer until I realized that Western astrology wasn't truthful. It wasn't based in truth. It wasn't based in observation. It was based in opinion. And when we were having, and I knew that, you know, when I was a Western astrologer, these videos would get 60,000 views. Ones in the chat, if y'all can understand or understand that part of the game. Imagine, you know, and I sat with my spirit guides and I said, you know, we getting 30,000 views, 50,000 views every time we go on. Why do you want to switch it up? And everybody, and it was like, well, you can be a rich liar, or you can be somebody that is speaking the truth to people. And at least you can sleep at night. And then I didn't even understand it at first. I didn't understand sidereal astrology at first because I had to continue to learn. And then when you try to find books on sidereal astrology, you're not going to even find any books on Western sidereal astrology. Thus, I had to create the literature for sidereal astrology. I had to write the book on sidereal astrology, spiritual being having a human experience. Once again, my best work is not my most popular work. Right? The truth is not the thing that's going to make people fall in love with you. If you tell your girl, man, I really want to have 2 girlfriends. You tell your girl the truth, you're not going to have a girlfriend. The whole reason you in a relationship right now is because you figured out a way to lie effectively. When you have a wife, then this is somebody that lives in truth with you. A girlfriend, boyfriend is just 2 people that's effectively lying to one another. So when we are having spiritual discussions, I'm not even worried about popularity because we've been crossed that bridge. We've been crossed that threshold. Niggas rather be lied to than be told the truth. Meaning that if a person said, it's like if we're going to like any sold out store or any long line, it's probably some bullshit being sold. But when it's a medicine store, you know, you go into any botanica, any herb store at any point, it's 5 niggas in there at most. If it's 5 niggas in the herb store, you like, damn, this bitch crowded. Damn, this bitch packed as hell. but the club, filled to the brim. It's standing room only for the concert. This is medicine. This is information. This is something that can actually help you to understand the things that I'm about to say and apply it in your overall understanding of yourself is the energy. But this is the work, because I'm talking to people that trying to find it in somebody else, trying to find it in something else. They're not trying to actually find it in themselves. That's why I got a lot to say. So the moon is going to be in sidereal Virgo, is going to be at the 10-degree Sabian system. The Sabian symbol is two heads looking out beyond the shadows. So y'all can see two heads. Sorry. Two heads looking out beyond the shadows. This universal idea is best expressed through the planets in Virgo and 10. The moon will be at Virgo and 10. And this aspect, or this Sabian symbol, is defined by the mind's ability to grasp higher realities. Buying a new car will not assist you in grasping higher realities. The time that you spend in front of your altar, clearing your mind, journaling, understanding and overstanding, connecting the dots, will help you grasp higher realities. Why is this important, you might say? I'm going to resort to religion to help us understand the importance of give me a second. The importance of the mind's ability to grasp higher realities. Just trying to make it to where y'all can see it a little bit. But anyways, this story is taken from King Solomon and Asmodeus. Now, this is a metaphysical story. King Solomon is not a real person. King Solomon's temple is not a real thing. Yesterday I searched this. Okay. Yesterday I searched this and it was like there's no evidence in King Solomon's temple. Now today I'm searching and it's like, yeah, it was like 6 clay jars. So I'm like, the internet be really stalking you, like what you be searching. It'd be like, well, come right behind you and like delete that shit, like get that shit out of his mind type shit. It's cool. Now, when you look at Israel as a biblical force, like followers of God, they were like, if it was any historical fact to it, even in their truth, they would say that they were a small community of people. So these people of God never ascended to the levels of Egypt or America or Cushites or great empires. So King Solomon and King David, they didn't have empires or kingdoms. They more or less had fledgling communities, if they had anything. So when you talk about King Solomon or King David, we're talking about metaphysical concepts. So there is a reality of spiritual truth. There are calls, angelic calls, things you can say that can improve your life. Now, I know that seemed far-fetched to you, but think about this for a second. If I walked up into the club in Detroit on 7 Mile and I just walked in and I looked at a nigga, I said, bitch ass nigga, fuck you. I'll beat your ass. What would happen after that? Random nigga that I just don't know. Will he probably commit to putting hands on me or even worse? Why did he do it? Because of my words? So if you compare, is that a true statement? Y'all don't even have to ever been to Detroit. Use your imagination. You never had to go to 7 Mile. Just imagine me going to 7 Mile, a bar, at 2 o'clock in the morning and choosing a random person and telling them, bitch ass nigga, fuck you, I'll beat your ass. Do you think that something bad would happen to me after I said that? One's in the chat if you think something bad would happen to me if I actually said that to a random guy. Just choose a guy out the blue to use those particular words to a man. Do you think that something bad will happen to me? One's in the chat. Listen, that's your this is what I'm talking about, opinions, ladies and gentlemen. This is we don't live in a world where it matters what you think is right or wrong. It does not matter what you think, bro, sis, whoever. If I do that, somebody gonna whoop my ass, whether it's right or wrong. And these are opinions. When you have spiritual conversations, you can't interject opinions because that's going to disrupt the spirit. If a nigga is going to be factual on how to build a house, we need to be factual on how to build the temple. If you don't understand masculine and feminine energy, the power of words, you're never going to have a, like, you think that you can say anything to a mother and don't nothing supposed to happen to you, then that means that when we are talking, and this is the spirit of possession right here. This is the spirit of possession. When I'm talking about it, when I'm trying to educate the people on positive words to manifest a life, somebody will say something contrary to that. When the bear witness to saying bad things to create negative energy is your everyday existence. Everywhere you go, people are saying things to you using verbiage and words to make you feel bad. Nobody knows the angelic cause or the Enochian cause because it's been taken away from us. The only verbiage we know is get it sexy, and that's demonic. Shit is deep. Shit is really deep. So we're talking about King Solomon and Asmodeus. And King Solomon is building a temple, but he can't build the temple alone. So what this talking about is in the creation of human beings, we are created with angels and demons, masculine, feminine, physical, spiritual, sun, moon. The categories. Cat, dog type shit. Two heads looking out beyond the shadows. Now, we're not being educated on the double-sided shadow. We're only being educated on the material side of the shadow. And the problem with the material side, it's not psychic. It doesn't tell you about the future, to which your soul or your spiritual side is psychic. It tells you everything that you need to know. Everything that you need to know probably will not go in alignment with what you want to happen. Nobody should put their hands on me. I don't want that to happen. But I'm going to verbalize fuck you bitch ass nigga as a way to alter that reality. To which, if I want good things to happen to me, I can learn how to verbalize and utilize my words to create the reality that I want to live. And the problem with human beings is that you might be in relationship with a person that is under possession. And the problem with possession, you could say, I want to have a good day today. And the person that's possessed is going to make sure that you don't have a good day. One's in the chat if you ever experienced that. You with somebody and you say, I want to go up. And they say, I want to go up too, but end up going down. And you're like, well, I thought you said we were going to go up. And I wanted to go up. So there is a spirit of saboteurship within your relationship at all times when there's a level of possession, because the nature of possession is always to alter and fuck up your reality. And there's people in your life that can easily get possessed because they don't have the instructions. People will say, man, I'm feeling fucked up, or say anything, really. Open themselves up to possession, and then it'll get exacerbated. And that possession will just be them saying any and everything to you. And you're like, damn. And if you don't have no ways of dealing with yourself, you will start to internalize the person close to you. Because the ego's like, man, I want to have a thing like this. I want to have a thing like that. But then the shit ain't like you want it to be. So now you trying to cover it up and you trying to show up in a certain way that you not. And the whole time you ain't doing nothing but hurting and killing yourself. You need to learn how to deal with your soul, because people are going to let you down. If they're not dealing with their soul, eventually, people always ask me, on this spiritual journey, but my partner's not on this spiritual journey, do you think it's going to work out? No. Either you going to separate or they going to, put you to sleep again. But you're not going to be able to go along the spiritual journey and have somebody that's like passively like with you, because it's going to be something that you do one day or something that you don't do one day, and it's going to be the biggest problem. But you know what the root of that problem is? You're not continuing on your path. For you to stop your path. That's what the root of the problem is. And you would think, man, I need to stop doing this, or I need to stop, or I need to make this relationship work, or this, that, and the third. And all of these things that are happening within you, you're not on your path anymore. And you're going to look up and you're going to be like, damn, who am I? You're going to look up and say, what is my life about? So you need to be very, very clear about spiritual work, and then people that you're with, that you're intimate with, because there's nothing more destructive than that. It's nothing more destructive than not being on your spiritual path. And so the reason that it's normal for us to not be on our spiritual path is in the story of Asmodeus and Solomon. Solomon, soul of man, right? Your soul builds the temple, the body. Your soul builds your body, right? But he builds it with angelic cause. He builds it with demonic cause, right? But we don't know any of the angelic cause anymore, because It's in the Psalms, which I'm understanding, and it's also in Proverbs, Ecclesiastes. These are angelic calls that balance out the demonic calls that are just everyday existence in life. So, how does this play out in real life? This plays out in real life when an individual who has promise, purpose, doesn't see it because of their circumstances, right? And then they allow their circumstances to create the mentality for them, as opposed to dealing with their soul or their other aspect or their shadow, or going to their highest mental capacity to say, okay, I'm here now, but I can actually be here later. And I see this within myself. Ultimately, we all have that ability, but it's an inner work. But most people don't really deal with it. So the temple, while it was being made, was built with whole and draft stones, yet hammers and axes or any instrument wrought of iron was not to be heard in the temple while it was being built. So ultimately, they go get this demon named Asmodeus to help him build the temple. And there's a particular aspect of this story that I just want to share with you that's very important to us and how we can look at things based upon a certain perspective. While he was being drawn away and they went along their journey, every tree that he approached, he brushed himself up alongside it and cast it down. Every house that he approached, he would cast it down. Happily, he reached the dwelling place of a certain poor elderly woman being put in a sculpture carved from rock. She came out and began pleading with him not to destroy her humble abode. He bent down his great stature, breaking a bone within himself while doing so. So in this aspect, like, I love this story. You can Google it and read it in its entirety. It's a great story. It's a hard read, but the longer you read it, the more it makes sense. When you get off of your path, understand that you breaking something within yourself. And the thing that's going to make you get off your path is pouring into somebody who doesn't want to pour into themselves. You trying to save somebody. That's your biggest problem. You more concerned with saving somebody, helping somebody, and not even understanding if that's a part of your path or not. So you're going to break a bone within, period. So like, I love like the analogies and then the real world connotations to shadow work or helping people. Understanding the things within yourself or doing the status quo, doing what you're supposed to do. When you do what you're supposed to do, you're going to break a bone within yourself. Being awakened to a sense of his condition, he then recalled what was written about this in scripture. A soft tongue will break a person's bones. What does this mean? When you're not able to be truthful with yourself and with others, you are going to hurt yourself and other people. A soft tongue, you think you helping somebody or saving somebody or protecting somebody or preventing somebody from something. And the reality is that you breaking them. It goes the gambit of reality. It goes the gambit of possession, where it's this information and this knowledge. It is going to help me manifest in the material world, and I'm going to deal with the information, go into school. It's like you learning a whole bunch of shit. But is it really in relation to what you're supposed to be learning? Do you know what you're supposed to be learning? Or are you not doing any shadow work? You're not doing any spiritual work to gain gnosis. In the spiritual being having a human experience, there is the first chapter is gnosis. And gnosis is spiritual education. spiritual education has to come from you. It's the same as learning things externally. Only difference is you have to actually be tuned in and tapped into yourself to really learn, to really get into the process of what does my soul have for me? Like really intuitive. Like I've seen so many spiritual people kick the bucket thinking that they were supposed to be vegan or thinking that they were supposed to not deal with certain things. And the reality is maybe they were. But the ego and the arrogance to say, oh man, I got to do it like this. I got to do it like that. But did your soul even say that? Right? So even further, they're on this journey with this demon and he sees a blind man who had erred as he walked along the road. The demon lifts him back up and puts him back on the right path. What are they talking about? This blind man didn't know. The blind, like you don't be really knowing for real. So when we talk about the demon, we're talking about the person that is in your midst, your soul, the shadows, your genius. Like you can make a mistake. You can make 1,000,001 mistakes. Start dealing with your soul and get put back on the right path. And you could be so fucked up and motherfuckers like, you ain't gonna never get your shit together. You ain't gonna never get right. And then the next time they see you, your shit is together, you right. And they like, man, I seen this nigga make 1,000,001 mistakes. How is he ever getting his shit right? The reason that he got his shit right is because if you're on the right path, can't nothing stop you. Are you on the right path or not? Is my question to you. He also saw a drunkard that erred on the path. He lifted him up. So once again, it's a lot of things that we're doing in this life that's like, oh, this is so fucked up. I'll never be forgiven. I'll never recover from this. But if you have a purpose, if you have a talent, if you was meant to do something on this earth, you're gonna do it one way or another. Okay. So once again, if you intuitively know you are meant to do more, this is your invitation to do shadow work. This is your invitation to do spiritual work. He then saw a place where the merrymaking and wherein people were exceedingly happy, but he began to cry. Once again, people don't even know what's going to happen in the next moment, right? People don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, the next day, right? So the same thing that make you happy is the same thing that's going to make you cry. So what is like, people be having a party, a get together, and people will like come together and feel so good and then go home. It's a wrap. One's in the chat, you be with people, you be happy, go home and be like, damn, I'm back at this motherfucker again. Damn. You was just at the thing, dancing, having fun, laughing. What was it really? Well, your spirit know that ain't shit. Your spirit know that family get together ain't shit. You gonna be all laughing and happy, eating fucking ribs and shit. Laughing with everybody. That's not a solution. Soon as you get home, you're gonna be back on the same shit. What they want you to do. Put something in on it. And you ain't even have nothing to put in on it. Your ass got to pay their loan for the goddamn family cookouts. Now you in debt for these niggas. Then he heard a certain man say, make me a pair of shoes that's going to last me for 7 years. Asmodeus began to laugh, right? Think about that. Motherfuckers like, oh, I want this for 7 years and ain't gonna be alive for 7 days. We take life for granted and we try to think in advance, and that's really a trick. That's really possession. What do thinking in advance do? It take you away from this moment. As spiritual beings, you got the past, the future, which ain't shit. It's only now. Okay? It's only now. And now you could do work. So once again, this story is very long, so I'm not gonna get into it. But I'm gonna just read the demon's answers, because his I guess his companion along this journey, his name was Benaiah, and he seen the demon like laughing and crying and helping people and doing all of this shit. So he like, man, why you do that? So he asking the demon, tell me all those things that you did when you astonished me by your conduct. What was the reason when you saw that blind man who erred on the road that you lifted him up and put him on the right path? Asmodeus said, it was because I heard them making a proclamation over him in heaven. You hear? You understand that? You understand? They might be talking about your ass in heaven right now, and you got your head hanging down. In the spiritual realms, they like, that's the one right there. And you like, oh man, I just did some fucked up shit yesterday. I fucked 2 girls in the same night. I can't back to back. God don't love me. I had 2 men in the same night. I don't know. God don't love me. I heard them making a proclamation over in heaven saying that he was a holy and righteous man, and whoever gratifies his soul shall have a portion in the world to come. We don't know who we are. We're not even told about who we are. And what was the reason when you saw that drunkard who erred on the path? Why you lift him up? It was because I heard them making a proclamation over him in heaven saying that he was a holy wicked man. Let him alone that he might eat good in his labors in this world, for he has nothing coming to him in the world to come. So you might see somebody like Diddy or somebody that's like on the high horse doing their thing, and you like, damn, he got it going on. Why can't I have my shit like that? You don't like this world, and what you have in this world is not in relation to what you truly can have universally in totality. Right? And for real, we are entering into a new world. This is prophesized. And the reason why everybody is trying to scare you and why you is dealing with the scare tactics is because you have no spiritual foundation. Nobody's going to sit here and talk to you on hours about spiritual knowledge. Nobody's going to teach you the truth about spirituality. And I'm on the internet, they talking about everything, either literally or trying to act like these people as human beings and not understanding the metaphysical qualities. Imagine if you understood angelic calls and you understood the power of the voice and the power of the word, and you only utilize the power of words to create your reality. Imagine if you knew that, but you only know words that can tear down your reality. So you tell your boyfriend or your girlfriend something, and now the relationship is over. How is this fucked up? You ever told any guy ever told a girl some shit and they be like, I don't want to hear that shit? You ever tell a girl, I love you, you look good, and she be like, I don't want to hear that. Right? But if you like, bitch, get the fuck out of here, she be like, all right, I'm gone. I don't ever want to hear you again. You blocked on everything. Meaning I can't tell you nothing positive, but I can tell you something negative. If I tell you something negative, I'm gonna get all the emotions, right? Person give you all of this negative emotion, right? Busting your windows, flattening your tires, doing all of this crazy shit. But he's like, okay, what's the positive side of this? Can you go crazy on the D? Right? So what I'm saying is, we live in a world where we don't know this side of the game. Thus, we would have to really sit down, learn, and understand and understand. People have been so possessed that they don't even want to give themselves enough time and energy to learn the truth about reality. The mode of spirituality is all opinion based, and opinions can never be facts. It can never lead to truth. So, and what was the reason when you saw that merrymaking that you began to cry? Asmodeus said it was because the man who had just been married was unaware of his plight was to die within 30 days. His bride would be forced to keep her unwedded for 13 more years until she could be married to his younger brother. Right? So the shit just look crazy now, right? Nobody knows the situation or how shit going to turn out. We don't know how this life going to turn out. But we be so happy when shit is happening the way we think it's going to happen. And then when it changed, we be so sad. That's all possession. It keeps you in a loop. So, like, it's not even that you really happy, but you think you're supposed to be happy. That be the real kicker to this shit. And you don't want nobody to say, well, why you ain't smiling? And what was the reason that you saw the man ask the dude to make me a pair of shoes for 7 years? Asmodeus laughed because that man had not even 7 more days to live. So what was the use of having shoes for 7 years? And what was the reason that you saw a diviner that you began to laugh? And the diviner was trying to manifest some bread. Asmodeus said it was because he was sitting upon a treasure trove of riches fit for a king, only to divine for something else, which he assumed might be beneath him. So once again, when we talk about this spiritual miracle, spiritual knowledge, doing the spiritual work, you can manifest all types of shit for yourself. You don't have to live a life of a pauper. You don't have to be poor because you're a spiritual person. In fact, what is your intention? What is the spiritual work that you're doing? What is the rituals that you're doing? What is the magic that you are doing? Because you are a spiritual being, we're doing all of this spiritual work. We're talking about prosperity consciousness. We're talking about fertility, abundance. But you're not even using your spiritual magic, and so we can get into all of this type of stuff. Like, okay, we're using powerful angelic calls to go against the demonic angelic calls. We're creating our own languages and our own verbiages and our own understandings on how to use our voice box to create our reality. Most people don't say shit. Most people ain't saying that damn thing. So how would you know? And I'm going to just read a couple more things from this. King Solomon kept them under house arrest for that entire time. One day he sat alone with Solomon, and Solomon said to him, "It is written that he has it where the majestic strength of a rhino." What is He's asking Asmodeus, what is your advantage over us, right? And Asmodeus said, remove this chain from me and give me your ring, and I'll show you my advantage. So Solomon did it, and at that point, Asmodeus had the power of Solomon, right? And he sent Solomon far into another kingdom. And Solomon is just wandering around this kingdom like, man, we used to be kings and queens, right? And he don't really got nothing to prove it. He's just out here living poor. That's an analogy of us right now. Solomon, like, I used to be a king. You see that? Solomon said, I used to be a king. What happened? What happened? He separated himself from his shadow. This shadow took over, sent him into another world. And now you can't never, it's like you can act like the world is against you, but your soul will put you in a predicament to show you how powerful it is. Meanwhile, Asmodeus usurped the power and impersonated King Solomon. There was none in the kingdom who could tell the difference between them. And this lets you know that Asmodeus and King Solomon are the same. The demon and the king are the same energy. The ego and the subconscious mind are the same. The spiritual God-like force energy in you that's down and out, living in a shelter, living with your mama, can't get a man, can't get a girl. You can change your life if you work with your energy properly. It was this video, I wish I would have saved it, on Twitter. It was this rich man, and they was interviewing him, and they was asking him how did he become a millionaire. And I was like, whatever he say, I'm gonna do some research on it. I'm thinking he gonna say tech. I'm thinking he gonna say, he bought, stocks in Sears Robux and sold at the perfect time. I don't know what this nigga gonna say. This nigga said, I believe in God. I trust in God. And the reason that you need to trust in God is because when you broke, nigga, you gonna need some motherfucking anchor. It's niggas that crash out because they broke every single day. It's niggas in jail right now forever because they was broke and they did some dumb shit. Robbed a nigga and the gun go off, and now you in jail. And the nigga that you tried to rob ain't even have no money. But you got to spend the rest of your life in jail because you didn't have a belief in God. It's niggas in relationships right now that, yeah, you're not actually developed to the man that you need to be, but yet and still you going to act like, you going to serve and honor this woman in front of you. You'll have a relationship with your soul. So guess what she going to do? She going to put you in the car, in the past. Nah, nigga, she going to put you in a back seat, in a car seat, nigga. She's going to be a baby, and she going to do 180 in your car until it wrecked and get out and say, now you figure it out without even unlatching a child seat lock, nigga. That's how it's going to be. When you in a relationship with a woman and you don't know your soul, that girl is in full control over you. And when she don't know how to drive, she going to look at you like you should have been a man. You should have took control. But you don't know this shit. Your mama told you, the only thing you need to do is make a woman happy, and, everything else is, is going to just work out for you. So here you go making somebody happy, and now you broke because you don't understand God. You don't understand the word no. You don't understand the word discipline. You don't understand the word gratification, delayed gratification. Working with your altar is a result of delayed gratification. It's not a result of immediate gratification. That's why you got to work with your altar extensively, because God is smart. God know you're going to work with your altar one day and forget about it. And then be like, well, I did work with my altar last year and nothing happened. That altar work is bullshit. Burning herbs is bullshit. I did burn herbs. I bought some herbs from you last year, Hood. I bought some herbs from you last year, Hood, and I burnt them. Did you get more herbs? No. Do you burn herbs now? No. I burnt them last year, Hood. I burn herbs all the time last year, but I don't do it no more. Why not? Because I'm in the material world. Do your soul get benefit from the material things? Or do your soul get benefit from organic things, natural things? An offering and a possession is 1 and 2. Like it's like you either gonna offer the guy, you gonna be right on your offerings, or you gonna be possessed by spirits that have not evolved. This is why you want to get revenge. This is why you want to make people happy, make people mad, people sad. You're not even in control of your own life because you don't even have a way to feed in or pour into your soul. And I'm not talking shit to a person who's not doing spiritual work. Nobody is telling you this. But I'm telling you this, you know now. So now the rest is up to you. And I want to see if I can get one more thing. And it might not be on here. I might have been reading some commentary on it. So I'll get off of this for now and get back into the lunar eclipse and the Sabian symbol. Because I'm giving you all of this background information because otherwise it's going to be a lot of blanks filled in. Not even filled in, just blanks in general. So we can choose to see beyond conflict and duality to a world of goodness and peace. Meaning that this moon, we can look at the material world as the land of conflict and duality. And we can look, but like that conflict and duality is never ending. Somebody has said it in the chat. It's a constant loop. It's constant loop. It's always going to be conflict. It's always going to be duality. It's like O Block and 63rd. It's like King Von and FBG Duck and Chief Keef. You kill mine, and they can't even stop. It was also an interview that I seen with FBG Butter and No Jumper, and the white boy from No Jumper was talking to FBG Butter. Like, I can't believe that y'all would just go back and forth like y'all do. And FBG Butter said it like more than 3 times. You would do the same thing that I did. The reason that these young boys kill each other is because these young boys are possessed. Right? When you are possessed because you have no energy. The only thing that you can protect yourself from possession, you know, people do protection spells, right? But don't protect themselves from shit. The only way to truly protect yourself is to deal with energy. And that energy that you build deals with the negative polarity. That negative polarity is found within yourself. Once you deal with this negative polarity, you are able to go beyond conflict and duality. This is the message for this full moon, right? This is the overall gist to the full moon. So you can live on fucking O Block and find goodness and peace, because the goodness and peace is within you. It's not on O Block with the savages. One's in the chat, if that makes sense. You can be in the midst of 6 Mile. You can be in the midst of the projects. You can be in the midst of the hood. But even so, you can still find goodness and peace, because that peace comes from within you in the ability to do your spiritual work. Thus, if you want to deal with the conflict and duality, it's just going to keep you in a loop. It's a rabbit hole. It's never ending. Creativity reaches its peak when the artist becomes lost in the work. When you become lost in your craft, when you become lost in your spiritual work, then you'll be able to do it. That's like being on your path. When you are creative, you know you're on your path. When you are having writer's block, video block, you can't do no art block, you can't do shit because you're not on your path. And then you're like, well, how do I get back on your path? You burn herbs. You create the ritualistic vibration in your home. You clean up. You do altar work. You meditate. You go beyond the dualism and conflict to find a solution. Back to the article, which is on Substack. Y'all can get this. First link in the description, actually. This is a paid article, but I'm taking my time with this video on purpose because people, the video is free. But if you want to just kind of get all of the information and just cut through all the bullshit, just read the article. $5 a month. You get access to all of the other articles that's paid and every future article that's paid. And once again, you're supporting this channel, and I appreciate that the most, right? So back to the conversation at hand. Why is all of the things that I'm talking about important in creating and forging you to your path? It's because most people deal with biases. Confirmation bias is people's tendency to process information that is consistent with their existing beliefs. Think about that shit. You have an existing belief that Jesus is real. Therefore, everything that you deal with is going to confirm that initial bias. That is fucking sickening. That should give you fucking nausea to think that you have existing beliefs and you're gonna look for information that only confirms that. And the fucked up part about it, that any information that contradicts it, you're not even going to be able to factor it. You're gonna be like, man, you're demonic, right? And that's possession. People will kill you for having a difference of opinion, having a different belief. Muslims and Christians killed each other for centuries. That's crazy, and they all lived in the same world. This biased approach to decision making is largely unintentional. So I'll sit here with y'all for 3 hours and talk about it, because y'all unintentions will have y'all ruining your relationships, ruining your lives, ruining your day, ruining the vibe, all because you unintentionally trying to conform your beliefs. Your boyfriend probably don't even deserve your wrath. One's in the chat. Can y'all come to that mature understanding? He don't deserve the way you treat him. He deserves to be treated better. But if you have an existing belief that, whatever belief you have, that you haven't cleared up, you make it okay and then you on goddamn TikTok and they talking about how niggas ain't shit. So you will be mad at what another girl done went through with a nigga and come home and looking at your nigga differently. Charmaine's boyfriend cheated on her. Oh, that's crazy. What you think? Oh, that's crazy? Is it really crazy? Crazy like what? Insane asylum crazy? Like what? Crazy how? I mean, I just said that it was crazy. I mean, it's all crazy. Like, should I wear a straitjacket? Do you need a straitjacket? These niggas can't stop touching girls. I mean, what? Like, is you cheating? No, I'm playing the PS5. I'm in my season. You got a bitch on the PS5? You always online. Why are you talking to online more than you talking to me? Like, what's the problem? See that existing belief that all men ain't shit? Everything that confirms it will result into her giving you hell. And then it's like, what? Gotta have conversations. Confirmation bias is unintentional. So your girlfriend can give you hell unintentional. She don't mean to give you hell. He don't mean to give you hell. But, if he have a root, he been listening to Manosphere podcast all fucking month. nonstop, anytime you ask him for money, he gonna be looking at you like you just like them girls on the manosphere. You like, what the fuck is the manosphere? You a 304. What the fuck is a 304? These beliefs can include a person's expectation in a given situation and their predictions about a particular outcome. God damn it. You got to be really clear about a person's vision for their life. Because a person might say, man, I don't feel like I'm ever amount to shit. And you will be like, man, yes, you is. I see potential in you. One's in the chat. I see your potential. But if they cognitive dissonance and their confirmation bias and their belief is that they ain't never going to be shit or have shit, guess what's going to happen? They ain't going to have shit. And your belief in them, you just going to be looking like a goddamn fool. People are especially likely to process information to support their own beliefs. That's sick. You have a belief, and now you're looking for something that's going to confirm that belief. It's like 90% of the content on this internet. They're like, you would be a smart person. That's why I don't like to go so hard one way or another. Because even though that's the way to go, like speak to a woman audience. Hi, ladies. Today we're gonna be talking about these men, right? That's weird. That's weird energy. But I could make a lot of money doing that. I could scam a lot of people by lying to people. Understand and overstand. You gotta know, like, you gotta have a real. If a motherfucker can't say, man, I'm not lying to y'all, then you're probably getting scammed. If you're in a group and it's mostly women, y'all probably getting scammed. If it's 90% women in the group, it's a scam taking place. Because beneficial information is not going to skew for women only or for men only. If it's beneficial, it'll be 50-50. Men can benefit from it and women can benefit from it because it's rooted in truth. And a man and woman can say, you hear what he's saying? Yeah, I hear what he's saying. Can you bear witness? I can bear witness. Cool. But if I'm hearing some utter bullshit and I tell my girl, this is bullshit, and she be like, you don't know what you're talking about, my advice to you, fam, is to run. Like dead ass. If your girl or your nigga, if it's a content and it's all men listening to it, and they're like, girls are like this and girls are like that, and you're like, dog, I'm not like that. And he like, bitch, you don't know what you're talking about. My advice to you, sis, is to run. Running emojis in the chat, if that makes sense. And the reason that we're discussing shadow work and understanding shadow work in an extensive manner is because it's unintentional, for one, and two, nobody is teaching you about the shadow side. They're only going to confirm your biases. So we got the shadow work we got the shadow work journal, we got shadow work classes. Like these classes is literally, not figuratively, literally 5 hours of information. Niggas be saying literally and they don't mean literally. They be saying literally and they just be meaning figuratively. And I'm like, why do y'all do that? Like, it's a difference between literally and figuratively. Like, literally means like it's literally real. Like, it's basically like the real thing. Figuratively, like, means it's like comparative to something. I digress. If you get the deluxe, we send in a journal to your crib. But once again, it's a workbook because and it's so interesting. I'm gonna get back on this. I'm not even lying to y'all. Niggas done went crazy with my idea, bro. This is the first shadow work journal and handbook. Nigga, this shit went crazy on TikTok. Not this book per se, but the copy of it that don't have no basis in facts and not gonna help you do no shadow work. Millions of people got it and then didn't like. But if you get this book, you know, or even deeper, I would say the best book to get on shadow work is a spiritual being having a human experience. Like that's the best book to get because we get extensive into that, right? That would be my go-to for shadow work. But if you want a journal, I would say this would be the go-to, right? I'm the originator of shadow work. That's not even I'm not even a brag. I'm not even bragging when I say that. I feel like everybody that's talking about shadow work should go through me first. And I'm not bragging or being egotistical when I say it. It's just the facts. And I'm talking to individuals that want to actually understand and understand shadow work. Talk to me. Ask me questions about it. I'll help you. So the proper, don't get scammed out here in these streets for no reason. So the proper way to work with the Virgo full moon is to analyze things without committing emotionally. If you find your emotions in turmoil during this time, is mainly because you haven't dealt with the shadow of the situation. Think about the homeless man or the drunkard walking down the street, never knowing their path and purpose in life was to do something completely different. So it's easy to give up on life, but you're going to give up on life. You're going to feel bad until you analyze the situation. In a spiritual way, how we analyze the situation is by doing spiritual work. Okay? So the next thing we're going to talk about is the sun in Pisces. Ironically, the Sabian symbol for this aspect is an aviator in the clouds. This is the highest levels of achievement. Only the few manage to go beyond the levels of normal excellence to master their chosen craft and skill set. So another way of explaining this is through the 9 of Cups. So I'm just going to show y'all what that card looks like. I'm going to talk about what this means, and then people will just be saying anything on the internet, boy. It's scary. I'm trying to find just the 9 of Cups. I found it. I think it was going to be a picture, but no. So if you look at this man right here, this is a man that got his shit together, right? This is what the 9 of Cups represents. So when you look at the Sabian symbol, highest levels of achievement. Only the few manage to go beyond the levels of normal excellence to master their chosen craft or skill set. Attain the highest level of responsibility that you can manage. Think about this, though. The highest level of responsibility sounds like some complex shit. One's in the chat. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. That's the best thing that we can do in these YouTube streets. Is that some complex shit to talk about? If I told you, Charmaine, you are going to attain the highest level of responsibility that you can manage. Is that complex? What would Charmaine say? Yes or no? It seems complex. But what if I told you it's not complex at all? The 9 of Cups is actually one of the simplest cards ever. And it's simply doing what the fuck that you're supposed to do. That's not hard. What's hard is when you're doing shit that you're not supposed to do. Nothing harder than being with a bitch that you ain't supposed to be with, bro. I'm telling you right now, that relationship hard because you ain't supposed to be there. Nothing harder than being with a nigga that you not supposed to be with. It's hard to be with a nigga that you ain't supposed to be with. I'm telling you, it's difficult. But you wouldn't say it's difficult being with this nigga. This is the highest level of relationship that I can be in. One's in the chat if y'all can understand and understand. It would be the person that is easiest to be with that would represent the highest level of attainment. Thus, when you are doing what you are supposed to do, nigga, it's easy. It's easy to reach the highest level of attainment because it is what you are supposed to do. That's what this Nine of Cups nigga is representing. The Nine of Cups represents the concept less is more. It is the antithesis of emotions. Imagine you experience every emotion. Your dog died, your dad died, your mama died, everybody died, your leg broke. Like, this is existence. You have experienced every emotion. Do you then say, I've experienced all of these emotions, let's do it again, nigga? No, you like, I'm done with this shit. I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do. You would have had to experience every emotion. Imagine a Nine of Cups, right? Every emotion, and the result of every emotion is success. It makes no sense if you're supposed to carry the emotions. Obviously, the Nine of Cups nigga said, you know what, if I let everything go, I can just do what I need to do. So what's holding you back from doing what you need to do? The emotions related to shit that have nothing to do with your path. The most simplest and easiest thing to do in this energy is be your motherfucking self. Be authentic. It's difficult when you have established relationships with people that you can't be yourself with. It's tension in the room because you can't be yourself. It's tension in a relationship because you can't be yourself. It's tension at your job because you can't be yourself. It's tension in your life because you can't be yourself. If people celebrated you and treated you if you could just be yourself and people didn't hold it against you, nigga, you would feel great. One's in the chat. Yasad. I'm glad this resonated with me because I almost would forget about it. Yasad represents 9. 9 represents your sexual organs. The Nine of Cups is the level right before manifestation. So you will look at your sexual organs as right before you manifest a new life. It comes like you gotta have sex, like to like bring it into realization. Like sex brings life, right? So Yasad brings life. The 9 brings manifestation. So being in your spiritual path leads to manifestation. Ironically, not being in your spiritual path leads to manifestation as well, but you also have the opportunity to choose. That's the power of this eclipse season. The card represents fulfillment, so things cannot get better than they are at the present moment. So once again, how are you fulfilled? If you fulfilled in circumstances, then you'll also never be fulfilled actually. Fulfillment actually is a spiritual process. Sometimes referred to as the wish card, things coming true that you have always wanted. That's what this energy is about. And the reality is so fucked up that people is just scaring niggas. I'm like, bro, why is people scaring people? Like everywhere on TikTok, IG, Like solar eclipse is gonna be like the most craziest thing. And it's like it's a solar eclipse every year. 2 solar eclipses every year. This might be it's important because we'll get to see it. So April 8th at 11 o'clock, be outside to witness it. We might go live or some shit. So I want to go live if the world going in. It's going to last for 4 minutes. So it's going to be in Eastern time zone. We're going to be up. We're going to be able to see it. You know, it's going to be on a Monday, a moon day, right? So it's a what a time to be alive. But nigga, I'm not afraid, right? Are you wanting exact what you wish for? Or are you dealing with the material world, loops, confusions, and possessions? You got to draw a line with this shit. Because motherfuckers is trying to infuse materialism into spirituality. And a lot of these niggas, man, I've realized that y'all niggas is going to get what y'all deserve. Another, like, it's people that play with this spirituality, bro. They not going to sit here and teach y'all shit. They going to take all y'all fucking money, take all y'all time. Like, they ain't going to give you no shit for real. Like, for real. They going to give you opinions, confirmation bias. Like, you got work to do, bro. We have not been taught, and we have not got no real knowledge ever. And any nigga that ever kicked y'all real knowledge, they take them out. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. We live in this world. So I know that motherfucker's against me because I'm a good person. If you're a good person, motherfuckers are going to be against you because that's the spirit. That's the spirit of the world. The world does not deal with God. The world does not deal, the material world does not interface with the spiritual world. Humans interface with the spiritual world. We can interface with the material world. We can interface with the spiritual world, but we'll interface with the material world because we possess. And then when somebody's trying to give you knowledge, they'll get cut out by niggas who run YouTube and Google and all types of weird shit. Niggas will flag my account every other day, and niggas talking about a video that I did got flagged or banned or some shit. Imagine I did a video 2 years ago and the fucking algorithm will be like, yeah, 2 years ago, and then they'll flag my account. Y'all don't even know. I don't even talk about community violations and shit like that. Like, I don't even gotta, like, I can't even monetize these videos because as soon as the bots get on these bitches, it'll be like, we had to take this video down. Like legit against me. But I understand why they have to be against me. In the Bible, the third story is Cain and Abel, meaning the foundation of this world that we live in. You might not follow the Bible, but the niggas that run this planet follow that shit to a T. So you in this world not understanding that Bible, that's to your own detriment. So you in this country not understanding the Bible, that's to your own detriment. The foundation for all the wars in the Bible is Cain and Abel. Abel was a righteous man. Cain was a person that was tilling the soil, meaning he was manifesting. He had Ferraris, Beamers, and Benzes. God didn't give a fuck about that. In the Bible, God didn't care about that shit. So because God didn't care about it, and this nigga said, I will get more Ferraris, Beamers, and Benzes, God said, you can get 1 million Beamers and Benzes, take everybody to the Bahamas, have a nice-ass house. You are not in control. I'm in control. Cain did not like that, so he killed Abel. Cain means possession. So therefore, when Cain killed Abel, Cain possessed human beings to toil the ground, to be focused in material possessions. We as a race of people don't even give a fuck about spiritual knowledge for real. As a general concept, we can't have a conversation on God. And motherfuckers will say, it's depending on what you think. It depends on what I think. It's my own personal opinion. How? When it's a fucking mountain that we can bear witness to, trees we can bear witness to. Name me a nigga that can put clouds in the sky. Y'all ever met a nigga that put clouds in the sky? Y'all ever met a nigga that formed the earth? Name me a nigga that dug out an ocean and filled it with water. How you not believe in God and bear witness to God and make God be an opinion as if y'all niggas fucking made this world that we inhabit? Y'all niggas created a molecule. Y'all niggas create cells that create a whole body. Like the arrogance of people is so conditioned to the material world that it's sickening. So therefore, most of us will suffer from a level of imposter syndrome at a spiritual level. Imposter syndrome is like people who have PhDs and masters and they get a job at a corporation, they get paid $400K a year, and they say, I don't deserve this shit. I ain't even that smart for real. Or I'm making $400K, but this nigga who haven't worked as hard as I did, sacrificed how I did, he making $20K. Man, he deserved it more than me. At one level, it makes no sense. When you look at it from a spiritual being, you deserve so much in this life. You deserve so much good shit in this life. But if you're not able to recognize that you are and do the work and the sacrifices, making it sacred, the divine things to bring it into your life, you a fucking imposter. You're not doing no manifestation work, no ritual work. But you want this good shit to happen for you magically, mysteriously out the blue. You an imposter. You can't be on the spiritual path on accident. You can't burn herbs and do rituals on accident. Your spiritual path, your career path, your life path, your love path is on the same path. There's one path. You can't be on multiple paths. It don't even make fucking sense. Niggas be like, my numerology for my name and all of this type of shit, which is all fine and good, but it's like 4 different paths. How the fuck you niggas walking down 4 paths at the same time? I never walk down 4 paths at the same time. If I'm on a path, it's literally one path that you can walk down. That's the nature of a path, is one path. It's one thing. It's one source. It's one creator. It's one soul. And it's the visible and the invisible. That's the opposite of visible. We are raised in a world of people that are possessed, that have no access to the invisible. So they can't teach you. They don't know. They don't know God for real, bro. They only know God in a book. You know God for real. That's why you got to give the offerings. That's why you got to do the work. Because it's easy to be possessed. Because it's all reference your existing beliefs. What you want it so bad, you are willing to be possessed to get it. And the weird shit is that motherfuckers is printing out money in a fucking building, and niggas will kill for that shit. That's possession. We can create money. Like, it's so many things when a person is utilizing their skills, talents, and abilities to monetize, you know what I say to them? Oh, you figure out a way to print money. You figured it out. If you got access to something, if you can buy something low, or you can create something and you can sell it, oh, you can print money. Right? It's all within you. You got a skill, talent, ability right now that you can monetize. And if you monetize it, you the fucking Federal Reserve. You the fucking bank. You printing money. So once again, prioritize your spiritual calling through spiritual work, burning herbs, candles, rituals, etc. Well, Hood, you say do that all the time. Do it for real this time. It's eclipse season, nigga. It's eclipse season. You should have already been warming up to it. Like, it should have been a warm-up. Now it's time to really play the game. The lunar eclipse is about timing. This eclipse season is about timing and understanding the timing, right? If you understand the timing, understand the point of doing this work now, the portals is open up, you will have everything you need to be on your path. The problem is, there's going to be a lot of external noise that's going to be ramping up. It is going to reach its apex during the solar eclipse. There's going to be a lot of weird shit. There's been a lot of weird shit that they've been testing out with these phones, these movies, the predictive programming. My personal opinion is that they will install some of that shit during April 8th. They've been putting the migrants in. It's been a slow kettle buildup to some bullshit. So I need y'all to understand it's going to be a lot of external noise, but you can be able to focus on the internal. We're going to talk about two more things. I want to get through this whole article on the video for those who are not going to tap into the Substack and pay that little $5 a month, right? I'm going to make y'all feel the pain. The wedge aspect consists of two planets that's in opposition, which would be the sun and the moon. And the third planet, which is a trine aspect and a sextile. So the moon would be trining Pluto and the sun would be sextiling Pluto. But the third planet is Pluto. And Pluto represents the apex planet, say that 3 times fast, in this actual opposition that's taking place. So basically, we're having a full moon lunar eclipse in between Pisces and Virgo, and then Capricorn and Pluto is taking place. So once again, Pluto and Capricorn, Pluto going into Capricorn is the transformation and how we work with our higher selves. It's the transformation of working with our souls, which is kind of the end all be all. This energy have been slowly creating itself over these past couple of years. Now it's being activated by a full moon. So it's actually allowing us to come into an understanding and understanding of how do I relate to myself? Meaning that how I relate to myself, how I understand this transformation within myself will in fact help me deal with my emotional life and also help me deal with my manifestations. More or less, Capricorn would be a level of witchcraft, a level of mastery, and the level of spiritual work and how it relates into my life. One would say, I don't do no spiritual work at all, but emotionally I feel like shit, and physically my life ain't where it needs to be. Another person would say, I burn herbs, do whatever my soul tells me to do. I'm always on a spiritual path, and I fucking feel great, and my manifestations are in order. One, if that makes sense, and understanding a wedge pattern and how Pluto is actually influencing this lunar eclipse. Just wanted to put that out there. The card of the lunar eclipse would be the 9 of discs, which is opposed the 9 of cups, okay? And I should have had a hyperlink to it, but I will look it up. I will search it on the Google. Search it on the Google. So the 9 of discs in the erotic tarot, this card helps us understand and understand imposter syndrome. So this large version of this woman that's like overtowering the village is just who we are at a shadow self. When we analyze ourselves from a shadow side perspective, we are able to see that we can overcome all challenges. The best thing that we can do is be ourselves. This 9 of discs card represents well-being, material security, superiority, and serenity. peace in ourselves. Superiority, you are a superior entity when you unify your shadow and physical selves. You are an inferior person when you are just the ego. When you understand that you are the ego, you are your race, gender, all of that, plus you are a spiritual being, then that immediately makes you superior. One's in the chat if that makes sense. Also, working with your spiritual energy, you can't be broke. This is something that I know. You can't be broke and not and work with your spiritual energy in a real way. So if you're not secure financially, the goal isn't to get a second job. The goal is to work with your spirit, understand who you are. To become superior, you need to include your spiritual and your ego, and that will lead you to material security. In this world, when you do all of this right, you find peace within yourself. You unify your ego and your spiritual self. You get your money together. That incorporates well-being. None of this shit entitles joining a group, licking ass, getting readings, doing weird rituals with people, tuning in and tapping in to weird girls on IG, doing readings with tarot cards and shit like that all day, every day. It doesn't, motherfuckers talking about Aries. This year, y'all need to be doing this for the full moon. Tauruses, y'all need to be doing that for the full moon. None of that incorporates well-being. It's only information. The more information that you get, the more lost you're going to become. The more you deal with your soul, the more well-being you're dealing with. Okay? It's very simple. You. And if you can't find it within you, you need to keep searching within you. And if it ain't there yet, you need to keep searching. You keep digging. You keep burning. You keep working. When you give up on yourself, you give up on yourself. When you don't give up on yourself, you'll find that peace. And when you incorporate yourself, you'll find that superiority. You find that superiority, you'll find that security in your riches. And when you get this shit all together, then your well-being, right? A lot of times we just want to get there without doing this work, the inner work. So once again, we're going to deal with this 9 of this a little further extensively. Venus and Virgo. So Virgo is analytical. It's going to judge you. It's going to be critical, right? But then you have Venus there. So if I love you, right? And I say, I love you even if you don't brush your teeth, brush your hair, take a bath, put on clothes. If you don't never take care of yourself, I'm going to love you anyway. That is Venus. However, Venus and Virgo is the need to love critically. Imagine if you love your baby daddy critically. Can we talk about it or are we not going to talk about it? Imagine if you loved your baby mama critically. Can we talk about it or are we not going to talk about it? Critically and partially, to manipulate money carefully with attention to detail, often critically. So this Venus and Virgo energy is not, it's like an oxymoron that you got to really sit with if you just used to motherfucker. Like, there's some people that say, man, I just want a person to love me for me. One's in the chat. And then there's some people that say, man, I'm about to work out. I'm about to learn how to talk to girls. I'm going to learn how to talk to men. Can we talk about how it's 1,000,001 books on how to treat women, but it ain't no books on how to treat men? Can we talk about that? Or are we not going to talk about it? Let's not talk about it, matter of fact. Let's keep going with the conversation. Because niggas be reading books on how to treat y'all. Whether it work or not, that's a whole nother story. It's gain on all levels that are physical and that influence physical, emotional gain, spiritual gain, mental gain, and physical gain. The 9 of this suggests hitting a mark. a bullseye card, right? So what does this represent? Hitting the mark, a bullseye card, is not doing everything and anything. It's doing something specific. So to analyze and to love yourself is to really get on your spiritual journey if you really think about it. Because I love myself enough to help me be the best version of myself, but I need to analyze myself. I don't analyze myself from the mirror. You can't analyze yourself from the mirror. You got to get beyond the mirror, before the mirror. You have to proceed the mirror. So when you stand in front of the mirror, you'll be like, just what I expected. A bad bitch, right? Right? A bad nigga, right? Bad niggas is a thing. Google it. Venus is beauty, love, and creative power, while Virgo represents balance, order, and organization. Oxymorons until you start talking about real spiritual truths. You could do any and everything along your spiritual journey, or you could be balanced, ordered, and organized. Meaning that, do you got a grimoire? Do you got a journal? Do you keep track of your spells, rituals? Do you keep track of your dream journal? But you love the soul. You love yourself. You love yourself, but you're not even balanced, ordered, or organized. You don't even love your accounting class, but you at least had to take notes to pass the exam. You got a good A in your accounting class, but when it comes to learning yourself, you getting a fucking F. Not passing. The prioritization of the spiritual human being is what this energy is about. This whole year, karma been taking care of all types of shit, working out in my life personally. Because listen, man, you can tell a motherfucker all day till you blue in the face, this is what I want, this is what I expect, this is how it should be. But a person don't have to listen to you. And what I learned is that a person's soul is the most important thing, not me. So I want a person to follow their soul. If you follow your soul and you mad and angry, that's what your soul telling you to do. But my soul tells me to do something different. And I'm not mad at any place that a person's spiritual development is going to lead them to, because maybe you don't get it in this life. It's a lot of people that do not get it in this life, bro. Most people are not going to get it in this life. The reason why it's 34 people in the chat is because it's a representation of the people that's ready to get it in this life. Most of these people, I know how to go viral on this motherfucker. People that's ready to get up off this motherfucker, that's ready to do this spiritual work and don't mind learning new information. Because you get on the internet and you don't search for learning new information. You literally will search for some shit that's representing your belief. Why don't men treat women good? If you believe that men don't treat women good, you're going to find a million and one videos. You're going to find a million and one videos that's going to say why men don't treat women good. But if you have a belief that men treat women good, you're going to find a million videos on men treating women good. It's all a belief. And each concept is really a lie, because we can't treat anybody like anything. We can only treat ourselves good or bad. And then if you have overflow, that would be the representation of how you treat yourself. So if I'm good to myself, I'm going to naturally be good to my man. Y'all not ready for the conversation. Y'all rather be talking about how y'all man treat you as if that's a real thing. That's an opinion. Opinions are not real. The only fact is that it's you and your shadow work. You and your emotions. You and your feelings. And when you don't actually do the work, you create the energy in your own relationship. And when a motherfucker serve you back the same ball that you fucking spiked to them, it don't feel good. I'm telling you, it don't. But it's all a result of your lack of inner work. When you do the inner work that makes you feel good, then you by proxy treat your nigga good, treat your woman good. But it starts with you. But you can get online and there's a bunch of shit on how women need to do this and niggas need to do that. But in the argument, in the inception of the argument, is a lack of accountability. If I say that women are the problem, then that's a lack of accountability on me as a man to even attract quality women. If I say men are the problem, that's a lack of accountability on me to attract quality men. And there are a billion people, so I can never be so ignorant to say all men are this, all women are that, unless I met all 9 billion people of them. And you don't have enough time in this life to ever do that. So thus you have to deal with certain facts. The only person you're going to meet every day is your motherfucking self. That's the nigga that you need to deal with. Michael Jackson said, I'm staring at the man in the mirror. That was the truth. So there's 9 of this energy. A certain amount of integrity, skill, and talent has produced material gain and the sense of accomplishment. And this is what I said earlier. You're doing this spiritual work to unlock your hidden and latent skills, talents, and abilities. From there, you can then monetize and get what you want. But working a job, filling out an application is not integrity, skill, or talent, unfortunately. So a majority of our people is spending the majority of their time working for people and sending other people's kids through college and shit like that, making niggas buy yachts and all types of cool shit. I remember I was working at this factory. We was busting our asses, and we synced the fucking owner of the company. He had a folder on a computer of the shit that he would just buy every week. This nigga was buying 4-wheelers, boats, houses. We was busting our asses. We was working at this fiberglass mill, and we was like having fun, but at the same time we was busting our asses, and we would have like these competitions, and we'd be like, we need you to like pump out 2,000 pounds every day, and we would just take it as a challenge. This nigga was taking all of our money and fucking splurging, but he was like directly tied into the profits type shit. So if we made a lot of money that week, he had a lot of money, but we had like an hourly wage, nigga. So ain't that crazy? We work so hard and still get paid $13 an hour, and his shit influxes based on the work that we did. Like, man, you gotta own a fucking company out here in these streets, because god damn it. Imagine working harder through certain times and getting paid the same hourly rate. That's slavery. Like, I got a business. I might have a good day or a bad day. Imagine if whether I had a good day or a bad day, I just got paid $13. That shit is crazy. Like, nobody in their right mind would sign up for that shit. So we're not talking about careers. We're not talking about jobs. We're talking about the integrity, skill, and talent. Integrity is the person that I am 24/7 is the person that y'all see now. Only difference between the person that y'all see now is that I might be butt naked having sex, but I'm not going to do that on YouTube because my channel would be banned. But other than that, I'll be kicking knowledge in the pussies for real sometimes, you know. Skills and talents. Like, you need to really be this person that you say you are, and that would develop the skill and talent. So the time that you're not away from people, you're working on your skills and your talents. That's integrity. Thus, when you perform, motherfucker be like, damn, he must have been practicing. Or you come to an event, your inventory is fleshed out. Oh, this motherfucker been really working on his business. It's so many opportunities for you to get your shit off in this world. If you got skills and talent for real, somebody will see you, somebody will pour into you. But you need to make sure that you on this type of level, right? And that right there is the 9 of disc. We're gonna go into one more point, and then I got a couple more points, man. I'm not even gonna lie. I just want to get to this information. I want to talk about heuristics, man. Y'all know what heuristics is? I didn't know what heuristics is till I did research on this article. And I got into the concept of less is more, right? The concept of less is more is the energy of the nine, right? The nine have been through so much that it thought it was going to need all of this and all of that and all of this, all of that. But the nine is like, man, all I need is this, right? All I need is just this thing and I'm good with it, right? So less is more is that you done tried a million and different things, million and one different things, and you come to this one conclusion. But I felt like that was an idea or an opinion, but come to find out, Henry Brighton and Gerd Geigrenzer did a whole research on homo heuristics. And if you don't know what heuristics is, don't worry, I didn't know what that shit was either. But it's an interesting concept that is very important. Heuristic is enabling someone to discover or learn something for themselves. God damn it. It's words here that's supposed to help us live life, and we don't even know these words. I ain't learned this word in public school. Heuristic, they were trying to teach me bullshit in public school. Heuristic is enabling someone to discover or learn something for themselves. That is a simple process, okay? Less is more when it comes to heuristics. So let's go back and let's look up the definition of less is more when it comes to understanding ourselves. The less is more effects. More information or computation can decrease accuracy. I'm going to say it one more time. The more information or computations you have will decrease accuracy. So when it comes to hitting the mark for the nine of this, when it comes to staying on your path, when it comes to understand what is sacred in your life, it makes more sense. If you get online or live in this world with these technological devices and, you know, it's good when I want a DoorDash, but when it comes to tuning into my soul, it's actually the thing that fucks it up the most. One's in the chat if you just be picking up your phone for no reason. I'm going to put a one in the chat. One's in the chat if you just be sitting around and you just will pick up your phone and just start scrolling mindlessly. Cardi B, Blueface and Krishan. Men ain't shit. Women ain't shit. Scrolly, scrolly, scrolly. That's decreasing your accuracy on hitting the mark, my nigga. Therefore, minds rely on simple heuristics. What are heuristics? Someone to discover or learn something for themselves. So a simple life, a simple understanding, simple altar work, simple representation to your rituals and your magic is going to help you more than complex information. This video, that video, this book, that book, these niggas talking about this shit, this nigga talking about that shit. Man, it's this one spiritual nigga. He send me emails every day created by AI. Like, what is you doing, bro? Why are you sending me these emails with AI writing these? Like, what? I know AI is writing them. I'm reading these words. They have no meaning to them, bro. Why is you sending me this email? You paying money for a service, bro. You might as well just be like, what up? How you doing? Give me some feedback on my recent content or something. Stop sending me AI messages through the email with your fucking email list, bro. I wish I could unsubscribe for that shit, bro. It's so many people sending information, and now AI niggas is like, what is spiritual? AI is giving them information. They copying what is spiritual and telling your ass what spiritual is. So your idea of spiritual is coming from AI. Man, get the fuck out of here, bro. And it's literally telling you Your mind relies on a simple heuristic, meaning that anything you know, you've learned it for yourself. Anything you know, meaning what do you know how to do? Walk. Your skills, talents, and abilities, you learned it for yourself, right? And this is simple. If you learned the fucking saxophone, you had to actually hear when it would and you would change it, and then over time you fucking Kenny G, nigga. In order to be more accurate than strategy, okay, minds rely on simple heuristics in order to be more accurate than strategies that use more information and time. So when it comes to being on your path, it's not a complicated thing. It's a simple thing. Less is more. So the 9 of this lunar eclipse and all of this energy where people is like, let's do this, let's do that. We got this going on, that going on, this going on, that going on. Hey, my schedule is filled to the brim. Blah, 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 boom, boom, blah, 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 blah. You got to be the one that's a spiritual being that be like, man, fuck that shit. I'm about to go to the crib. I'm about to go to the park. I'm about to go to the beach. I'm about to go in nature. You can have all by yourself. I'm gonna be here doing me. Very important shit. So, lastly, we're going to talk about the Hasta Nakshatra. And you can really see, like, you can click the link, and it's going to send you to this page, and it's going to give you all of the planets, but then also all of the nakshatras that the planets are currently in. Today, we're going to be focusing on the moon in Hasta Nakshatra, and the purpose of this nakshatra is moksha. And if you don't know what moksha is, you can go down here, liberating your soul. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can read what this energy is about. If the moon is in Hasta Nakshatra in this lunar eclipse, and the purpose of the Hasta Nakshatra is moksha, and moksha means liberating the soul, then you can understand this energy a little better. Because you can be so conditioned in the physical world that be end all be all what's happening, but that's not the end all be all to your existence. You have a soul. You have a soul, and niggas not talking about it, because niggas that don't have a soul can't talk about it. If they haven't built up a soul understanding through like hours and hours and hours of research that been, presented to them and videos and literature and books and all of this, and not to brag, but soul work to understand, to liberate your soul is hard work, nigga. And you probably been through a lot of hard shit, but the hard shit in reference to liberating your soul, you got to live in this world. And this world don't give a fuck about moksha. This world don't give a fuck about karma. And karma don't even make the list. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha, none of this is karma, rather. But that's what this world, that's what the world we live in is dealing with. So once again, the Hasta Nakshatra. Hasta is just a Sanskrit word that means hand. So instead of Hasta Nakshatra, you can look at it as hand nakshatra. So the context of hand would be a sharing hand, extending a hand, holding a hand. So once again, if we're dealing with liberating your soul, that means your soul is trying to share itself with you, extend itself with you. But if you're not focused in on it, you don't care about it, then it'll just be extending its hand to nothing. So I'm asking you, turn your eye to God so God can turn an eye to you. The deity of this Hasta Nakshatra is Savitar or Savitri. His name, it implies or connotes the impeller or the rouser or the vivifier. Once again, we started this conversation off with the quotes. But there is no energy unless there is a tension of opposites. So even in the nature of this nakshatra is dealing like, so if I'm reaching out my hand to another person, right, that implies an opposition because my hand is reaching out to another hand, right? So once again, this could be a random chick that's gonna reach your hand out to you, or it could be your soul. It could be the man of your dreams that you've been waiting for so long, or it could be your soul. And 10 times out of 10, that girl or that man don't give a damn about you. You seen the meme. Your soulmate is getting cracked right now. The girl you wish for, she getting her back blew out. So we're not talking about reaching out your hand to her. We're talking about reaching your hand out to your soul. That's the reality. So once again, this time is a significant day for studying, developing your craft, playing instruments, or perfecting skills. And when I'm doing these articles, I'm pulling from a lot of sources. The amazing thing about all of these articles, whenever I'm doing an article on full moon, new moon stuff, is that the information, it always coincides. So if I'm studying a nine of this, somehow it'll reference to the Hasta Nakshatra. So it's either like everybody is conspiring when they're creating this shit, or God is real. And we just don't understand it. And the information is laid out in all of these different modalities. But when you begin to explore and break it down, it all works in the same. So when you're dealing with your hand, you're going to use your hand to as your medium for your talent, skills, or abilities, right? Even if you got to put in your name in the phone to like let people know I'm here, right? That is your hand. That is going to be the medium for your skills, talents, or abilities. So what you need to do during this time is not be caught up in whatever is going on the external world. What you need to be caught up in is studying and developing your craft. Witchcraft, sorcery, magic, rituals, burning herbs, channeling your soul, automatic writing, all of the spiritual things that we be talking about. If you're musical, you can use this time to make songs. If you creative at any point, if you want to like, you've been being an artist this whole entire time, don't go through this time having artist block. This is the time you're going to create your most amazing piece of artwork. You're going to make the most beautiful song during this eclipse season, right? But hopefully you're perfecting your skills, you're getting better, meaning, hey, we at the club tonight. You like, no, I'm going to just practice playing the piano, or I'm going to go home and make some beats, or I'm going to go home and write, or I'm going to go home and burn herbs because I don't know what I'm even supposed to do. I don't got no skill or no ability. I'm going to go home and work on my website, take more pictures for my website, work on the product descriptions. I'm going to perfect my skills. I'm going to do what I need to do for me. Not because I hate you, not because I don't like you, not because you ain't going to never see me again, but it's eclipse season, nigga. I'm in the energy. You should be in the energy too, right? You should be studying, developing your craft. You should be working on your beats. You should be working on your songs. You should be writing your movie right now, writing your book. That's what this eclipse season is about, using your hands, okay? So with that being said, if there are any questions, comments, or concerns, you can take this time to do so in the chat. I will highlight any question, comments, or concerns in reference to anything that I said. I'll answer the questions as well. But if there isn't, be sure to enjoy this lunar eclipse energy, man. Get out and observe it. It's going to be at night, so you might be able to see a little blood moon action. You understand what I'm saying? Very powerful time. See what time it is in your time zone and observe, right? Observe. Take some notes, journal. Okay? Heuristics, new word alert. Facts. I didn't even know that word existed till I did this goddamn full moon understanding. So just to go a quick overview of what we talked about, point for point. Eclipse season is a life transfer Life transform life. I can't say this word for shit, huh? Life transforming time. Okay. And when you talk about life transforming times, these are catalysts for future endeavors. So a year from now, you'll look back on what you did now. Like a lot of like if you wanted a baby, you're gonna look back at an eclipse season, like this is the time that I got pregnant, right? If you wanted to be successful at your job, you said this is the time that I started working for that promotion. They said they needed 5 calls a day and 3 times and never be late and all of these prerequisites for you to be a supervisor. This is the time that you set that goal. If you want to be a millionaire this time next year and you said I need to be doing this, and this to become a millionaire, this is the time that you put in that work. What can you do to learn your natal chart? Y'all know what I'm gonna say. Y'all know what I'm gonna say. Y'all know what I'm gonna say. Hold on. I'm just looking. First thing I would do is search for Astrology Explained by Kyrie Anthony. A couple books gonna pop up, you feel me? You know, book by Kyrie Anthony, yours truly, right? Niggas on Amazon with it. You know, I just didn't like I ain't just gonna say buy my book and it's just some random shit. I ain't even put my shit on Amazon. The people did that. You can look at Goodreads, all of that, Google Books, whatever. It's there, it's out here. Originally published January 7th, 2020. Right? Just Astrology Explained. I'm gonna just click on it for you real quick. It's everywhere out here in these streets. Best place I would get it though from is the Columbian Exchange, where you see all of my books. Astrology Explained, which would be the best one, but it's also a workbook. But I say get Astrology Explained because the workbook is in Astrology Explained too. Plus, how to read natal charts easily and effectively is like one and the same. But if you just want the workbook, you can go ahead and go crazy with that. But I'm breaking down all of astrology, the basics of astrology in this book. If you want an advanced astrology book, like you want to learn some sidereal, get a little freaky, nasty with it, Miss Jackson, if you nasty type deal, I would get a spiritual being having a human experience. That would be my go-to. Interesting query and thought from the Vedic perspective. Oftentimes they speak of not observing the eclipses directly. I would speak against that. I would say that you should look directly at the eclipse. I feel that the activation that comes from looking directly at the eclipse is solar rays that you'll never ever be able to see ever again. You dealing with a complete blockage of the solar rays, and you dealing with pure lunar energy, and we never get uncut, unadulterated lunar energy. So I would look at it. I wouldn't even look at it with that little card or no shit like that. I would look directly at the eclipse. I've done it before and my eyes didn't burn out or nothing like that. So anytime it's an eclipse, I'm looking directly at it. But maybe this eclipse is different. I don't know, but I definitely will be the person like, yeah, y'all, I looked at the eclipse and now I'm blind. But I'm for sure going to be looking at it. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns before we get up out of here? Be sure to visit White Rabbit's site, which is going to be at our link tree. We got a sale going on with Golden Teachers. We got 100 for a half and 200 for an OZ, usually 280 and 140 respectively. But we got a good batch in, and we want to give back to the people, those who have been supporting this company for so long. It's been something that I wanted to do for a long time, but now I'm at the position where I can give people a huge discount on shroom, on magic mushrooms. But with that being said, if there are no questions, comments, or concerns, I will end this video. Hopefully you learned something, were able to take notes and get a full grasping, understanding of this lunar eclipse energy. But don't worry, I'll be back with the solar eclipse energy and doing a breakdown of that as well. Haven't looked at it yet. Well, as soon as this video is done, I'll start looking at the solar eclipse that's taking place April 8th. Gonna work a lot on that particular transit so I can have the information necessary to bring towards the people. All right. And I second that. Mushrooms will definitely save the world. It's definitely saved my black ass in more ways than one. With that being said, man, I'm the Hood Mystic. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. This has been the Lunar Eclipse, and we are coming back with the Solar Eclipse and more videos. Be sure to visit the Substack. You don't have to pay $5 to join. You can join for free, but make sure you join because that's where I'll be releasing all updates. And if my channel ever gets shut down, I'll still have the Substack. So just click the first link in the description, put in your email so we can keep in contact. But with that being said, man, I hope y'all have a wonderful, wonderful lunar eclipse and an even better weekend. And I'll catch y'all on the flip side.
Time.